Hi, how are you? I'm Courtney, the Executive Director of Eugene Contemporary Art, and this is the second in a short series of videos, kind of an end of year dispatch, annual report, so to speak, just to send out to people at the end of the year. And in my last video, I gave shout outs and thank yous to a bunch of people who've helped make ECA what it is. And I know I left some people out probably, and I'm sorry for that. And if I left you out, please know that it wasn't intentional. I wasn't trying to be comprehensive so much as just acknowledge as much as I could, because this is a small operation really when it comes down to it. The administration side of things as it stands is just Agnes and myself. But apart from that, there is obviously our artist members and other people who've stepped in to help over the years. When we started in 2011, the project was myself, my wife Carrie, and artist educator Wes Hurd, and the three of us kind of were just like unsatisfied with the art that was available to see around Eugene. We weren't able to see the work we wanted to see or were interested in. And there wasn't much around, honestly, in Eugene at that time outside of the U of O campus and the art programs there and the Schnitzer Museum. So we kind of were like, let's just try to fill a void. And, you know, to do that, we had to rely on the help of people making space available. And we were allowed to take over the lease of a small space in the WIT on Blair Boulevard. And we funded a Kickstarter campaign to help run that. And we did a residency program. We did about 5 different artist residencies and a series of small shows. We showed Sarah Nance, Catherine Spinella, and we had some talks, and we did a couple other special events there. And so after that, life took over. We didn't want to raise any more money for a while. We let the space go. I had a baby. My job, career, life changed, and so it became nomadic, and I kind of kept it going by myself. Just it was something I was really still interested in trying to maintain and see what it was like. How could I grow this project as part of my own career? As I'm a designer, digital and graphic designer, and I was learning a lot of things on my job, and I wanted to kind of apply those somewhere else for myself, and so it kind of became my own side project, really. And so we eventually started doing some shows at Slightly Coffee, and my friend Julia Oldham jumped in to help curate that series of shows. It was about 6 shows we did, and then we started a podcast, and at that point Agnes jumped in and started helping, and Josiah had been in the mix all along helping us do the podcast and put on shows. And so the podcast kind of helped us going when we stopped doing shows at Slightly Coffee, and obviously they're not there. They've moved out of that space, so we wouldn't have been able to keep doing shows there anyways. But the podcast kind of just gave us a thing to keep doing together and figure out how to do this new media thing that all the kids were doing. And it was actually super fun, and we want to keep doing it. It's just kind of on hold at the moment. But the podcast kind of energy kind of led us to get a grant that we got last fall in October, and that allowed us to get our new space, Anti-Aesthetic, which is at 245 West 8th in downtown Eugene, sunny, balmy downtown Eugene, Oregon. That allowed us to form a group of artist members and have like a community kind of like energized and ready to help and be a part of it, and we wanted to be able to have, you know, shows, and we wanted to keep it DIY and allow us to be able to be kind of nimble and do fun things. I mean, putting on art shows with your friends is like one of the best things ever. And so our first show in our space was called Under Our Future Moon Ascensions, and it featured 12 artists from the U of O MFA department, and that was a great show. We were able to pay everyone through a super generous donation from GMA Architects. Thank you guys. It was kind of a great initial kickoff, and it showed a range of work, which was really important for us to show all, you know, all the different ways people are working, artists are making work now. And then pandemic hit, and we had to quit going to our space and we couldn't use it. And so we had a big program plan called Common Ground, which dealt with the intersection of art and ecology. And so the first iteration of that happened online, and we set up our virtual art space, antiaesthetic.com, online, and we launched our remote artist in residence for that, Karen Bolander, sorry. And Jill Baker, the video artist, had work and writing up on that, our virtual online space. And then when things relaxed a little bit, we were able to shift gears and mount a second exhibition with more artists in our gallery space. It was by appointment only. And that went really well, and it was great. People were able to come and really spend time. It's funny, when people make appointments, they're very intentional about how they spend time looking at the work and being there, and it was nice. It was, people would take the time to hang out and kind of absorb it, which was cool. And we had a reading room area with a bunch of books on art and ecology. We had Jill's video work up in the space, and you could just sit and watch all of her short films, and you could just take time and read everything. Agnes wrote a bunch of information and about each artist and their work and coordinated all that stuff, and it actually was a really strong show, and I'm sad that more people didn't get to see it just due to the health concerns and circumstances. So that leads us up to where we are right now. I mean, I'm looking at some notes. I guess all this is to say is just to reiterate that it takes a lot of people and a lot of time and energy to put on events like this, and to make something that you value and you think is important, make it available to a community, and make it accessible, make it understandable, make it interesting. I believe that contemporary art has a big part to play in the quality of life in a place that you live. Again, it's something I wanted to see happen because I couldn't see it, and it's something I cared about and I'm interested in as an artist myself, and as an art history major in college. Losing my train of thought here. But these things take a lot of work. Art doesn't happen in a vacuum. It costs money to have a space. It costs money to pay people when you need to pay them. Artists need to be paid, and that's one of our missions, is to make sure that artists are always paid when we do shows as much as we can, and we're prioritizing that. And so that takes money. And so here we are at the end of the year, and it's that time where people are starting to look at who they can donate to and contribute to for that tax write-off. And now that we are a nonprofit and we are awaiting our tax exempt letter, we are actually officially able to take donations now and provide that tax donation. We're going to get that letter any day now that says we're official. Our attorney said we have a pretty good chance of getting it, so we're feeling pretty good. We have a nonprofit status now. So if you are going to be donating to someone at the end of the year and you have means and you feel like art is something that you want to contribute to, please consider us, and you could go to eugenecontemporaryart.com/support-ECA, and I'll link to it in the notes of the video, or you can just look us up online. It's pretty easy to get eugenecontemporaryart.com and find your way to the support page, and you can donate however you feel you can. We appreciate anything or nothing. Even if you just share the video or email with someone, that's good too. So that's it for this video. In the next one, I'm going to talk about our plans coming up for the year and the other programs that we've got going. Things are shifting and changing very quickly for us, and we're trying to keep our eye on the prize and make this a project that people feel excited about and want to be a part of and want to come visit what we're doing. So thank you for watching to the end. If you made it to the end of this, I know Google tells me when people bounce, when I got boring, they say, oh, no one watched past the 4-minute mark. You're talking too long. Whatever, Google, shut up. Anyways, thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next video. Bye.